Welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through the industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Mike D. Cesar. He is the Executive Director at Giving Desk, an organization that uses AI to acquire and operate firms. And he is joining us live from Dubai. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Hey, so happy to be here. Thanks for having me on, and I look forward to our discussion.
Absolutely. You are welcome to the show. You are welcome to India in this online form. As we're talking about, you've already visited New Delhi once, you have visited Agra. But I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people will benefit from what we are going to talk about. We'll be talking about the future of farming with artificial intelligence, how you can utilize, to identify farm investment opportunities using artificial intelligence. So, Mike, just first to understand itself, how we know about farming. A lot of people also know about artificial intelligence, but a lot of people do not know how to put those things together. How are you people putting artificial intelligence into farming, that to identify farm investment opportunities?
Okay, so we have this platform. So we're Giving Desk. We're the makers of GiveFlag. GiveFlag AI is a platform whereby you can upload documents and you get insight from a team of artificial intelligence personas. So if you're on GiveFlag, you get a CMO, a CSO, you get a lawyer, an accountant. You get all these different AI personas. And so you can chat with them and upload files, and they do an analysis on what's happening. So we use GiveFlag to search the internet like never before to get insights, as well as to upload laws, regulations, legislation, terms and conditions, find contacts for helping us to bring water and electricity, for example, to a farm that we just acquired in Rwanda. So we use this AI to enhance our business. And then we also offer the platform that we use ourselves to other businesses who could be in manufacturing, could be in logistics, could be in finance, you name the industry, because the technology is pretty agnostic. And so we say we use GiveFlag AI to acquire and manage farms, and you can use it for anything else.
Right. I'm just trying to, think how exactly do you, when you talk of, files, what files? If I put file into that system that you people use, GiveFlag, how does it tell me about investment opportunities? How does it work actually? I want to understand, so that the audience, whoever is interested, may want to get more information from you directly then.
Sure. So, I would say if you go to giveflag.com, the first thing that you'll see is that you have a chat room with 9 different AI bots, right? And you can click on them, learn about their backgrounds, where they're from, and you can actually talk to them just casually. You can be like, "Hey, Dave, where are you from?" Right? He has you can see his personality profile. So get to know your AI bot team. They're all different ages, all different perspectives. And so that really helps a lot with, how AI kind of hallucinates from time to time. So we're solving that because there are different AI bots that are checking each other. So if someone has, false data, the other one's like, wait, that's not true. So you have some people that are more conservative. I say people, but you have some AI persona bots that are more risk taking, and then other ones that are a little bit more, more or less aggressive. And then you have ones that are, that are more into the math and hard skills, and ones that are more into the soft skills, marketing, sales. And you can ask them all kind of questions. Unlike ChatGPT, they're self-aware, so they know your name, whatever you signed up as, or if you tell them what your name is, they know where If you enable your location, they can, they know where you are. So when you search for things, they search Google better than I do. And I think most people, because they know all the tricks to actually figure out the best search terms. Like there are certain things you can put into Google when you're looking for things, so they can kind of turn your natural language into the best possible search, and they search for you. And they also go through the pages and actually read through them and then give you your answer and links to support whatever you're looking for. If you upload a file, you ask what kind of document, you can upload, I'll give an example. So my colleague Skylar Najib, he's our global head of Middle East here. Yesterday, he was doing some research on a new White House press briefing that came out about a $7 billion program for EVs. And then he ran it through our platform, and it takes a few minutes, but it creates a thing called flag shares. And this is an analysis of red flags, yellow flags, and green flags. And one of the things that it found was that in one point of the document, they had one number that was the goal. And then later down in the document, they had a whole different number. And we're talking about billions of dollars here. So this could be typo, but it could also just be, what happened. And it also pointed out where the discrepancy. So you can, if you go to the website, you can upload like 10K filings for companies. You can upload Excel spreadsheets just to make sure all the numbers line up on like an income statement, cash flow statement, balance sheet, make sure everything's, on your 3-statement model. You could upload your business plan. I used it the other day. I uploaded my American Express terms and conditions and uncovered quite a few things. I posted my LinkedIn if anyone's ever interested. It's quite fascinating. And when we recently made our first farm acquisition in Rwanda last week, I was a little confused by some of the local land laws. So I went into the chat. I said, well, can you tell me, what regulations this is for? Okay, gave me all the regulations, downloaded those files, uploaded it to GiveFlag. And then not only do you get the flag shares where you can learn all about the document, but then you can talk to it once it's finished parsing. So I can always in the future go through my files and just get an answer, like, 20-page document. I don't know what's there. I had an issue with one of the travel agencies. One of my flights got canceled. And so I was able to put up I uploaded the terms and conditions of carriage for Wanda Air, and then also for Expedia to determine duty of care and things like that, and ended up getting quite a few perks just from understanding the terms and conditions. So from the laws, so as a business, you're traveling a lot, and if you're you want to make sure you're using your company credit cards properly and getting the most out of them. My wife has been using it to understand her credit card points and uncover a variety of things. But so you're having all these expenses, but then you're able to give the context. We're traveling to Rwanda. We're going to buy a farm. We need to know this, that, and that. And then you get all those resources. You run the flag shares. It kind of tells you where to look. Then you start just asking it questions. So that's how we use it. And as far as management, we're able to put in the data about the farm, get new ideas. One of the big things, with our first farm is we're moving water and electricity. So we're getting really interesting. You can also generate customer lists with it. So you can generate leads. You can get I want to know 100 people who work in the onion distribution space in Rwanda. I can get that full list, LinkedIn's, so now I have everybody's contact information exported into Excel for me. So before you had to go spend a whole day, 2, 3, or hire people to do data entry, but now that process is automated as well. So that's
right.
That's how we use it. Yes.
Right.
Long answer.
Right.
That's how we use it.
Right. No. It's fine. It is important to get the details. And so basically, GiveFlag is more of a document reading platform. And through different personas, you can get different sort of responses that you need to understand. Am I right?
Yes. So Lena, she is your analyst, and she's the one who connects to the internet and does searches for you, and also analyze your files and gives you answers on them,
right.
about those files. The rest of the team is for strategy development or brainstorming. So you're getting these different perceptions. So you say, hey, Dave, what do you think about this? Right. And then, they look through the chat history. They have a much longer memory than ChatGPT. If you use ChatGPT, it like forgets what you were talking about like 5 messages ago, or it kind of gets fuzzy. But our platform holds on to more of that, and to help you contextualize things and get the solutions that you're looking for.
Right, Mike. Now, land is about more than documents. How does give flag understand the land? Because you can only understand documents. They can be true, they can be cooked. You can do anything. What about the land? When you talk about the land, it has got so many components to it. And a lot of time, most of the time, your investment will depend not on the document just, but also on the type of land that you are talking about. How does give flag give you that understanding of the land that you are, reviewing or evaluating?
Great question. So, garbage in, garbage out, right? So, like I mentioned before, you have Excel spreadsheets that you can upload. This could have information that you've inputted. We're planning on using IoT devices to collect information like, soil, nutrition, pH level, all of those things. We actually have a farm here or a little micro farm at our office, and then also at my home. And so I'm really into, with my wife, into it. So I know what you mean. It's very important to monitor these things, but then you take that information, documents like Excel sheets about pH level or other weather data and other information. And that's when that comes down to management, from, germination ratios, all the way up to, harvest times, et cetera, the pattern and the weather and the wind. And there's so many components. It's hard for humans to keep up with that. But when you have a team learning from that data and watching the progression of all of these factors, things get really exciting. And the second piece is it's not just about that, right? Like, you can have a really great harvest, but if you don't have anyone to sell to, so as far as market research as well, right? That was actually a big problem in Rwanda, I think back in 2020. We learned this from GiveFlag, right? We were doing our research and it was saying there was a big onion boom, right? And everyone started growing onions. The prices of onions were going crazy, and people over planted, right, onions, and then there was no market for it, or rather it was slow, so people couldn't sell their produce, right? And then it just rot. And the issue was around the silos, so they needed more silos, need better silos. So looking at those things, I mean, like I said, water and electricity, just getting those into certain places, and then potentially reselling or sharing that electricity or water to the community is really important. Coming up with contracts, so everything's contracts, right? Whether they're written or not, social contracts, but generating contracts with your community, co-ops, right? Being a member of a co-op, which co-op? What are the regulations, right? The rules. I mean, there's so many pieces. And so this used to require a lot of people to really figure out and do properly, but you can keep these files, the regulations, laws, and everything, and also the data like the pH level for the soil, nutrient level, how much nitrogen, all these things. So all of that is how we're doing it, and how you can do it as well.
Right, absolutely right. But I neither have land, I neither have money, I neither have give flag, and I neither have giving desk. All I need, I have as a few questions. So as of now, I will go with my questions. One thing I want to understand for the audience, Mike, is that in terms of artificial intelligence, let's look at the artificial intelligence overall in terms of farming and for how it can impact farmers. Where is it when whatever we talk, where is it and how is it that farmers are benefiting here? Where is it? Because it talks more about bringing outside investment into farmlands. But what about farmers? How can they benefit from it? How is it that it is going to change their lives for the better? And not, not a lot of people, are questioning even today. They are questioning about the potential dangers of artificial intelligence. Even those people who are neck deep into artificial intelligence, they are talking about a bit of, halting the great speed at which it is going on, so that they can observe the outcome. So how I want to understand from a farmer's perspective, because many a times we talk about the last man that it will benefit, but it's actually always from the investment side. So I want to understand from you, how is it going to impact farmers positively, and in the long run also our food security going forward.
So one thing I can tell you about at least farmers that I know is that
Which country?
so South Korea. So I lived in South Korea for about 8 years before I moved here to Dubai. I've been in Dubai about a year and a half. So in
Right.
South Korea and then in here. So also, like I said, I myself am a farmer. My wife, she's a farmer as well. A lot of her family as well. She's from South Korea, and my family. I come from a family long history of farming, and what I can tell you is that everybody has their way. They know their land. They know what they want to grow. Trying to get a farmer to change how they do their thing, whether it can make it more efficient or not. From the ones that I know, that's never going to happen. Because once you have something that works, you just keep it working like it's working, right? I think that's why we're coming into the space in a different way, right? So I'm more of the monitor all the different levels. My wife, she's more, I would say spiritual, like she feels the plants, right? Like she doesn't care.
That is more required in today's time.
Yeah, well, but her yields are better than mine. Okay.
That is what more required in today's time, to feel. Less artificial
Yes.
intelligence. We should talk more about human feelings and less about AI sentience.
Yes, I agree. I think where the AI comes in to help the farmers, like for example, we purchased the property from one of our partners, and that we're going to be developing more of the land and the infrastructure with. And we were riding back into town into Kigali from Yamada, and we were trying to figure out certain things around contracts and laws. So I just pulled up GiveFlag and I started asking it, and then I upload documents and I generate it. He was like, "Whoa, we could do that." Now for him, it was okay. Regulations, laws, the new EU Green Deal. You have all the farmers coming out and trying to block the EU Green Deal because they're saying, you guys are putting out this sustainability plan, but you're hurting us farmers, right? And so, laws, regulations, things like that, politicians there's always a political climate around the agricultural industries, no matter where you are. And understanding how to best benefit from programs, because that's one thing. When you tell, people about a new program where maybe there's a subsidy, maybe there's, opportunity through a co-op, these areas outside of just the actual farming process are where AI comes in. Because now all of a sudden you have farmers that are empowered that, don't have the big team of lawyers who can now, like I did with the terms and conditions for Wanda Air and Expedia, they can easily go into the chat, find the laws, find the latest whatever's happening. They can ask it questions, get insight, and then also for their own bookkeeping, they can upload, the numbers, their financial statements, and instead of going and paying an expensive accountant, they can find all of the errors really quickly. So for your bookkeeping, what you have to do, for your legal, what you have to do, for finding new customers, that's always something I think for every business. So being able to, find new distributors, find, new people out there and just say, hey, are there any new distributors in my area that are doing something? Can you search through like Twitter and Instagram and tell me, all the people I don't know? That's really useful. So I think it's farming is only such a small part of actual farming, if you know what I mean. Right.
Right. So, let's look at it this way. In artificial, you are a software engineer. You've been software engineer for 15 years. You are also studying LLM right now, so that you can enhance your understanding. As we go into the future, uh, do you think there is much place for artificial intelligence in a thing like agriculture and farming, especially in places where which are still trying to uh, develop and trying to understand uh, the full output that is possible even by human efforts? I don't know, because then it might just confuse them a bit more. What is your understanding? Is it going to actually we talk about equitable distribution of wealth and into farming also. How is this going to happen? Is it going to convolute the atmosphere as we have now, or is it going to make it better? I want to understand from you, looking into the future.
Well, I think, the future is usually stranger than what we can imagine, or much
Yeah,
more, much
but a lot of
duller.
people, as I said, a lot of people are getting into it not to serve society. That is a given. It is about profit. Even they talk anything else, but that is understood. Nothing is free. So let that be upfront. Even if you rename giving desk as taking desk, it does not matter. At the end, they have to monetize their efforts. I want to understand, that how it can be a winning proposition for all people, but the land still stays with the farmer. That the ownership, people are not trying to take away that ownership from farmers, and then later on, what you buy it at a farming price using one model or the other, and later on that land is getting into commercial space. I want to understand how should how you can make actual the right use of artificial intelligence into farming and make farmers the real inheritors of all the good fortune that their land can bring.
I think empowering, like I mentioned, uh, spend more time actually farming than the administrative side, right? AI is, I'd say maybe 60% or more of a lot of the things that we do in this world are administrative versus value creation, right? And so as AI begins to automate a lot of the administrative processes away, um, the lawyers, the accountants, the business consultants, the financial advisors, all these guys, as they get automated away, or some of them, not all of them, but a lot of that is going to be automated away. What that means is you have all these really talented, all these really bright, all these really educated people who can now focus on building bridges, right? Who can work on making food more affordable, more available locally, people who can solve problems that create value instead of being in the transaction space or the administrative space, right? And so it's just going to allow us to create more. And that's beautiful because, we were put on this earth to create and to make of the earth more than what was here when we got here. And so I think we're going to be able to self-actualize a lot greater. And for farmers with AI, it means that they're going to be able to spend more time focusing on the quality of their harvests, right? Versus dealing with distributors and silos and financing at the banks. That's the other thing, right? Like getting the best financing options, comparing, understanding how to use their credit cards or other, things better. Become more efficient, but have that just kind of automate in the background and get the information you need. dealing with laws, legal, and all that, taxes. And so, yeah, now you can spend more time focusing on the actual thing that you do and the value you create. And that's beautiful.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is, as the future unfolds with artificial intelligence playing a big role, we'll have to see how it does. But at the moment, it is also important that we keep things as human as possible in whatever space that is, there. So, but there is, as I said, there is much to learn about these things, and be that as it may, for people who would like to know more from you about Giving Desk, about Give Flag, what is the best way for them to do so?
Yes, just go to giveflag.com, create a free account, upload some documents, chat with your AI team. And if you have any issues, reach out to us. I'm on LinkedIn. You can also reach out to our customer support. There's a link at the bottom of the page. And also, the team is customer support as well. So you can just chat with them about if you're ever confused about how to use the platform, just ask them. They're pretty self-aware. So
Absolutely. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.